Welcome to episode 5 of Duality of Nerds, where we aim to prove that no matter how different two people seem to be, they can always be united by their love of all things nerd. I'm Brady, he's Micah, better known as Ball.
And knowledge. So today we've got a few segments for you. Our first segment, kind of the point of the episode, we're going to do our Supergirl review. We'll have a little non-spoiler portion, and then we'll have a more spoiler-inclusive review. Our second segment, we're going to do a new type of segment. We call the scenario segment, which will be hosted by Brady. He'll tell you more about that when we get there. And then our third segment, we're bringing back Bitter Legit. People seem to like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll just do our closing. But do you want to take us into our first segment?
Yeah, so let's get into the Supergirl review. So getting into the non-spoiler things first, I'm going to give my out of 10. Micah has not seen it yet, but he can host a lot of the number review and stuff like that. And he has done tons of research into uh like
Just general
what would you call
feedback.
it?
General feedback
Yeah,
and
just
criticisms.
general feedback and criticisms. He's not worried about the spoilers. He's gonna wait till it comes out on live streaming or whenever it comes out. But yeah, I can get us started with the non-spoiler portion. My out of 10 score for Supergirl 2026 is a 4.9 out of 10.
Wow.
I was hovering on a 5 exactly, but there's one thing that because if it's a 5.0 out of 10, people think it's average. I need it to be clear that it is closer to a 1 than it is a 10, but it's mid.
Yeah.
So it's essentially a 5, but it's not it's closer to below average than it is above average, but it's average. So that's what gives it the 4.9 out of 10 on the Brady scale, and that's up on my letterbox. Both of us have letterboxes.
Yes.
I started mine just recently. He started his a while ago. Obviously, as we're doing this pod thing, we're putting a lot of time into it. We both watch movies all the time, and so all the movies that we're going to be rewatching, we're going to actively put on our letterboxes, and we're going to be active on there again. So be sure to check us out on Letterboxd. I'm just Brady from Don, D-O-N, Duality Nerds.
Yep.
And he's Micah from Don,
Yep.
Duality Nerds. So yeah, make sure you check us out on Letterboxd. But hit me with the numbers of Supergirl. How's it doing?
Yeah, so we can start with kind of the money side, the financial side. The budget it's estimated around 170 million, which means it needs about 375 to break even is kind of the projection. But as of now, it is at 100 million worldwide, which is a bummer.
Holy.
And so on its second weekend, it fell 74% compared to its opening weekend, which is a catastrophic performance.
That's bad.
Really, really bad. And that's reflected by a lot of the ratings. So IMDb, it's a 6.1 out of 10. The critic score on Rotten Tomatoes is a 54%. But the audience score is a 75%. So
Okay.
take it with a grain of salt. I know it seemed like there were some review bombers, maybe similar to, you're scrolling on Instagram and the ads are all like, oh, Supergirl's the best movie ever. But you don't actually see that when you talk to people who watched it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't directed by James Gunn. So that was interesting. It was directed by Craig Gillespie, which not a name I've heard before. Maybe not a name I want to hear again.
I don't know anything he did.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, to me, if it helps, it didn't seem worth the money for me to go see it in theaters. Even with this podcast, is how I felt. I know you and your fiance wanted your fiance wanted to see it, so you tagged along right as well.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I've definitely found a lot of criticisms. So would you rather me ask first, or you want to talk first?
I'll just get into kind of my review first here. I'll start with my highlights. First off, Millie Alcock's performance. It was incredible. She was really, really good as Supergirl. Every issue I have with this movie uh, is not by her fault at all.
Yeah.
She was no part of the lowlights of this movie. She was incredible. Another big highlight that I had was David Cornsweet's Superman. Every time David Cornsweet is on screen as Superman, it's just going to be a good scene.
Yeah.
Obviously, Superman 2025 was incredible. It made everybody so excited for the James Gunn DCU because it's the best Superman we've ever had on screen. One of the top superhero movies we've ever had for comic superheroes.
Yeah.
He's just such a good actor, perfect for the role of Superman. He really puts his all into that character, and you see that. And I'm just so excited for every time he's on screen. It just makes me so amped for the James Gunn led DCU because I know it's David Cornsweet's Superman.
Yeah.
Um, Another highlight I have is Jason Momoa's Lobo. I don't know how many people know, but this is Jason Momoa's dream role,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, much like The Rock's dream role was Black Adam,
Yeah.
and nobody cared when he did Black Adam. There's kind of a similar situation here with Jason Momoa's Lobo.
Hmm.
I don't blame Jason Momoa at all. I blame The Rock's portrayal of Black Adam. I don't blame Jason Momoa's portrayal of Lobo.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa as Lobo was really good. I had no problems with his character at all. The writing was awful.
Yeah.
Obviously, Supergirl, the Supergirl 2026, this movie that we're reviewing, is a book adaptation.
Yes.
It's one of the first superhero movie book adaptations that I think I've ever seen. It was like I want to say 2016 book, maybe it was a 2020 book, but it's not an old book. It's relatively new.
Yeah.
Lobo was not in the book.
Right.
In watching this movie, you can very obviously tell
Yeah.
Lobo has no place in the story.
Okay.
He has no place in this story. So people are going to look at The Rock playing his dream role of Black Adam and it being awful, and Jason Momoa playing his dream role of Lobo and it being awful, and they're going to equivalent the two. I don't think that's necessary or that's appropriate at all.
Yeah.
The Rock had a bad portrayal in a bad movie as Black Adam. Jason Momoa's portrayal as Lobo was really good.
Yeah.
Lobo just does not belong in this movie. It's very obviously like James Gunn knew he was going to give Jason Momoa his dream role.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to put him in Superman. He wasn't going to put him in Superman Man of Tomorrow. So I will just toss you in the Supergirl movie, which, you know. So, but all three of their performances were incredible. Had no problems with them whatsoever. I did have, getting into some of my problems, one of the main protagonists, Ruthie. I know she's obnoxious in the book. She's so annoying in the movie.
Oh, hell.
She's so annoying in the movie. I don't like when characters are idiots, which is one of the many reasons I don't like or watch horror movies. Because in horror movies, it's supposed to build suspense by making people want to get out of their seat. Usually they do that, or like the cliche way to do that is by making the character be an idiot, so people are like, no, don't do that.
It's just dumb.
That is how Ruthie was, not in a horror movie. Every single decision she made, you're like, what are you doing, you idiot? Please stop. And it can be done well. I've seen it done well.
Yeah.
It can. I'm sure she's fine in the book. I've heard from people that read the book and they said they have no problem with it. It's really bad in the movie and so obnoxious. Because there's times where it's like, even if you are an idiot, it wouldn't even make sense to make some of the decisions she's making.
Yeah.
Like you're just sitting there tossing up your hands going, are we serious? What am I watching? Like there were a couple times where I just threw up my hands and I'm like, this is so stupid. What am I watching right now?
Yeah.
So I had problems with her character. And then I also had problems with some CGI moments. I know there's been a lot of complaints about the CGI. There is some Bollywood level CGI.
Really?
It is. There are some awful shots.
The Flash level.
Some
CGI.
of them are, yeah, no, genuinely, it might be worse even. Which blows my mind
Yep.
because it's a James Gunn project. Like, James Gunn is a huge producer. He had a huge say in the movie. You can see James Gunn's fingerprint on this movie because of how Guardians of the Galaxy-esque it is.
Yeah. But
He
they
didn't have
rushed
any
it.
say in the writing, and he didn't have any say in the directing, but he was producing it and he had his hand all over it. It should be a better movie than it is, and
Yeah.
it's very obviously rushed. Um, yeah, so and it's a shame because some of the more iconic scenes, like Supergirl doing the Superman flying pose, uh, those shots specifically were awful.
Yeah.
Like, they look so Bollywood level terrible.
Bad green screen even.
Yeah, no, really bad.
Hmm.
But then there were some moments where the CGI, like, I was like, oh, like, this is a completely like, you couldn't tell the writers actually had a couple weeks to work on this shot
Yeah.
rather than a couple days. There was one. So Supergirl, I'm not spoiling anything. Obviously, there are fight scenes. Supergirl grabs someone, a character, and she's flying at like Mach crack with this character, and she's like punching him off the ground and like dribbling him like a basketball off the ground, which obviously physically is not possible because if she's flying at Mach crap and she punches someone in the ground, as soon as he touches the ground that's not moving, he's gonna fly away.
Friction's gonna slow him down. Yeah, but
Yeah, obviously that's not gonna work. But like the concept of it is cool, and it looked really good. Like it didn't look like Pacific Rim CGI good, but it looked really good
Yeah.
compared to some of the other shots. So even some of the CGI hate, I'm like, okay, let's not act like there aren't some good shots in this movie. There are some good shots. Um, but yeah, I think it's getting overhated a little too much. I think it's simply mid, and it falls below average because of how rushed it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that lines up with a lot of the stuff that I've heard. So I guess we can move into spoiler just because I don't know how your answers are going to affect that.
Yeah.
So,
spoiler warning for Supergirl.
yes. So, I mean, just kind of start. I hear like the first half sucks, but the second half is not that bad. Like, it's actually pretty decent. It's kind of the.
It's not that bad. So the first half is kind of exploration. And then the second half is when action and combat starts.
Okay.
I don't honestly know if I agree that the first half is worse. I think that's just the brain rot action movie superhero goer saying there's not a fight scene, so it's not good. I would not separate the halves of the movies in terms of one being better than the other. It's just most of the action is in the second half as opposed to the first half.
Makes sense.
So that's probably where that comes from.
Yeah. And then you kind of talked about it, but yeah, people say Lobo was not used well and was a very, very pointless addition, is how it felt.
It's so point. I watched a couple reviews of Supergirl after I watched it, and they talked about the connection to the book, which I didn't know when I watched the movie. And they talked about how Lobo was not in the movie. I almost had, like, watching the movie for the first time, having never heard any of this, I was like, it's almost like Lobo wasn't in this original story and they put him in after the fact. Having heard nothing about the book, I didn't know anything about Lobo's character, but I was literally like, it genuinely looks like this is a story that was written, and then 2 months later they were like, oh shoot, we got to add another character, let's throw Lobo in there. And but that's pretty much exactly what happened. Lobo was just added to the Supergirl story. So yeah, I 100% it does feel like that, and it was without even knowing about him not being in the book. I could tell that.
Yeah. And just for book readers, I did read a fairly long review from someone. There's a lot of inaccuracies to the book and like major ones that kind of ruin it, and that's why they think the movie was weak. So I mean, we can't comment a ton on that, but
I can say something in that I heard. Now, this is tough because it's a negative for me because I've heard it about the book. if I hadn't heard this about the book, it wouldn't be a negative for me, so it's kind of unfair. And I haven't even read the book. So it's kind of unfair. But the whole, you can see in the trailer, Crypto, the dog, gets sick. You can assume they're going to go on a journey to save the dog.
Yeah. They're finding the
That's
antidote,
just,
trying to get the antidote from the person who poisoned.
right, trying to get the antidote to save the dog. Now, in the book, what happens is the dog gets hurt at the beginning of the book, and they actually manage to save the dog before they go on the adventure. But Supergirl doesn't tell that to Ruthie, and Supergirl goes on the whole adventure with Ruthie, and the whole time Ruthie is thinking she came with me so she can save her dog and I can get my revenge, because Ruthie's going on the journey to get revenge on the guy who hurt her dog. She wants to get the guy who hurt her dog so she can get the antidote. Ruthie wants revenge. She wants the antidote from the same guy, so they travel together. That's the story.
Yeah.
In the book, Supergirl actually doesn't need the antidote because her dog is saved. And it's this whole big plot twist at the end of the movie where Ruthie is like, you didn't even need to save your dog. Why did you go on this whole adventure with me? And Supergirl is like, I did it so you wouldn't make a decision you regret in taking revenge on this guy. And it's like this huge whole plot twist. In the movie, the stupid dog is sick, and she really just does it to save the dog.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so much more interesting the way the book did it. So, like, that's a negative for me, but if I had never heard that about the book, it wouldn't be a negative for me, so it's kind of unfair. But, like, I can see and relate to that with the people who read and cared about the book.
Yeah. That makes sense. A lot of people are definitely also saying that the similarity to Guardians, and especially her similarity to Star-Lord and how she acts and dresses, they see that as a negative just because it kind of takes away from the originality, which I think is fair. Guardians was good, and people say this movie is very average, very generic, cheesy, like, so.
Yeah, I feel like tack 2 points off of every out of 10 score just because it's the internet. Everybody's giving it like a 3 out of 10. If it wasn't the internet and people were being realistic, it's a 5 out of 10. Like, it's just mid. It's just mid. But I totally agree with and see the similarity between her and Star-Lord, because she wears headphones and plays 80s rock music while she goes on adventures hurting bad guys. Where it's like, okay, are we serious? It's kind of obnoxious, and it is offensive to see the contrast between, like, the same character. One of them is like a 9 out of 10 movie, and the other one is like objectively a 5 or worse.
Yeah.
So I totally think that's fair.
Yeah. Probably the last bigger complaint was the CGI was weird, and especially in the final battle, people say it was pretty bad.
Yeah, the final battle is where all of the Bollywood shots that I was referencing, all of those are in the final battle. But the one shot I referenced that actually was really good, where she's flying and like dribbling the main bad guy off of the ground, that is also in the final scene, and it looks really good. So it's kind of not really good. I can't pretend like it's peak CGI, but for what it is, it looks good.
Yeah.
But there is a whole, like, obviously they're going on the same journey. Ruthie is trying to get revenge on the guy. She wants to kill him. Supergirl just wants, this is a different point, but Supergirl just wants the antidote to save the dog, and then she's trying to stop Ruthie from killing the guy because she wants Ruthie to not have to worry about the mental anguish that comes with killing someone. And so, like, kind of the climax of the movie is the bad guy being defeated and Ruthie holding a sword to his neck, and Supergirl being like, don't do it, you're gonna regret it. You're going to, you won't forgive yourself, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And then she kills him.
Ruthie's like, okay, yeah, you're right. Ruthie walks away, and then Supergirl kills him.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. That's great. I think that's great. Supergirl is willing to take on the burden of being, quote unquote, the bad guy, but doing the right thing. And she's trying to protect Ruthie's innocence from having to deal with that.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I thought it was done very well in the movie. I thought that whole sequence was done well. But anyways, back to the point of the final battle. Yeah, there was a lot of really bad CGI in it, but then some of the best CGI in the movie was also in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's pretty much all I
yeah,
was able. Those are the major things. So
I think I hit all of the points I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I think people at the end of the day, people are probably being too harsh on the movie. Um, but I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 on Letterbox, and I gave it a 4.9 out of 10 here on the pod, just because I really want to communicate that it is an average movie, but it's closer to below average just because it's ugly.
yeah.
Literally, if the movie was just simply pleasing to look at, it would be an above average movie. It's just not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it falls at that 4.9 for me. But we've got tons of movies in the big 2.6 to review
True.
in the future. Soonest will be Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, we're really excited for that. We've both we're going to see it the opening weekend, and then we'll have that review up soon enough. But I shan't hold us up any longer. We move on to segment 2.
Okay.
We are calling segment 2 the scenario segment. The scenario segment is just one of us says that we have an idea that we want to talk about, of the other person being put in a scenario, what they would do, and just talk about it. And having fun with it, just talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm hosting this scenario segment. I thought of this, and I was just interested in what you had to say. So here is your scenario. You are stuck strictly within the boundaries of a completely abandoned Manhattan city.
Okay.
So New York, Manhattan, completely abandoned, not another person there. You are strictly within the boundaries of Manhattan City. An MCU villain is hunting you down. They have 12 hours to kill you. You have 2 hours of prep time. If you survive, you get 2 hours of prep time in Manhattan City. Their 12 hours starts. At the end of the 12 hours, the MCU villain evaporates, gets snapped, let's just say, and you're good. I want you to blind rank these 5 MCU villains and kind of walk me through your thought process.
Okay.
Walk me through your thought process for your strategy for each villain and where you would rank them. Because remember, you've got 2 hours of prep time. I'm going to tell you which villain, and then you can talk about your prep time.
Yeah.
And then how you would hopefully survive the 12 hours and where they would ultimately rank on your 1 to 5 blind ranking. So, 2 hours of prep time, 12 hours of an MCU villain hunting you down. Let's blind rank. Your first is Harrison Ford's Red Hulk.
Okay. So we're doing, this is 5, blind ranking 5. 2 hours prep time.
5.
Okay. Angry, not very smart.
Pretty destructive.
Very destructive. I think he's searching for me. Manhattan's a fairly big place. I think he could knock down buildings pretty quick. So, 2 hours prep time would not be shoring up in a building, but maybe a basement. I think.
Okay.
I'm also thinking there's a river in Manhattan too, right? I feel like I'd be safe if I found just a random tree, like a really heavily lot of leaves, and just climb to the middle of it.
And climb a tree.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's small
Now-
enough of a target. So
Yeah.
ranking that in my confidence. So 1 is most survivable, 5 is least.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 is the character you would most like to hunt you, given your strategy. Now, walk me through your 12-hour plan. Would you, move trees? Would you risk it?
Mm-mm.
Would you risk moving? Or it's just, you've got 2 hours to find a tree, and then you're just praying for 12 hours. Because 12 hours is a long time.
It is a long time, but I think because of how, again, Red Hulk's not intelligent. I think because of how many buildings there are, he'd spend a lot more time trying to take those down rather than some random tree on the outskirts or whatever. So, and he also, the other option is he's not big enough. I genuinely probably could be in the bottom of the basement under something. And even if the building falls, I might be safe. So, between those two routes, I think I'd put him at 2. I'd feel pretty confident.
Okay, that's fair. All right, Red Hulk at 2.
I think the intelligence gap is my biggest advantage.
Yeah, that definitely is an advantage. And you made a really good point with the size gap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a chance you could find some kind of like tunnel like thing where it's like, even if on the off chance he does find you, it would be really tough for him to get to you.
Yeah.
Because he's so big. So,
yeah,
I don't think that's a bad strategy or a bad ranking. But your next one is Ultron.
Just Ultron.
Let's throw in 5 of his Ultron bots.
Okay.
So it's Ultron and 5 of them.
So he's extremely intelligent. He's able to spread out and search more. He's definitely got scanners. He's got stuff with heat, so he can melt through anything metal. If he finds me, there's nothing.
I have an idea. So you would absolutely have to be kind of away from everything like electronically. Anything that might possibly have a camera on it, you should probably avoid. You mentioned water earlier.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
I wonder if there's some sort of bridge where you could like tuck yourself up under a bridge.
I was thinking bridge, but then I was also thinking the off chance that there's some sort of small boat that I could turn upside down on the shore, like there was water in it and someone left it there for water and I can hide under that. That was my other kind of line of thought.
I really like that.
So
because you've got 2 hours of prep time.
Yeah, so I could flip a
boat. It's not much, but I don't think that's a bad strategy.
If he doesn't have scanners on his person that could scan through a boat, that would be my strategy.
Okay.
So we'll assume he doesn't have scanners that can scan through that.
Let's assume he doesn't have X-ray because that's dumb.
But he could scan through cameras and other electronics. So yeah, I think that would be my strategy. That would give me a decent amount of confidence, but he's still got 5 drones. And they are also still intelligent, so they could clear the buildings really quickly with security cameras. So I'd put him at 4. I think I wouldn't stand a great chance.
I think that's fair. Good strategy, though. That boat strategy is a good one. Okay, number 3. Kind of interesting. I'm excited to see your strategy here. Norman Osborn. He was introduced to the MCU. So you've got Willem Dafoe, Norman Osborn.
He's got his glider. He's got a bunch of bombs. So once again, destroys buildings easily. Man, I think...
Can cover a lot of ground in 12 hours.
I can't be on like a roof or something. I can't be anywhere out in the open. He will easily see, even if it's up high. He's smart, so time is my only advantage. There are probably garages in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably get into the trunk of a car. I'd find like blankets somewhere and get into the trunk of a car. Okay, what I'd have to do, here's the plan. I would have to siphon the gas out of that car and any surrounding cars. Get in the trunk, cover myself with blankets. If he uses his bombs in the area, the cars won't blow up because they don't have gas, so it would shatter the windows. As long as he doesn't get my car, but it would still maybe shatter the windows. I've got the blankets to protect me from the glass. I think I might stand a decent chance there, especially if it's in a garage.
Yeah, and like even if there is some sort of debris flying, like you're kind of protected by
Yeah.
the car.
Might do better than blankets. I might be able to get cushions or something that would not be super conspicuous in the back of a car, but I think that might actually be pretty doable.
That's a really good idea, and it's totally doable within 2 hours. Like
Uh-huh.
2 hours of prep time, you can absolutely get that done.
Yeah. So, that being said,
You have 1, 3, and 5 open.
yeah, it's definitely between 1 and 3. I mean, we're going to assume he has unlimited pumpkin bombs.
Yes.
Um the only problem is if he drops the building on me. So I'd have to put him at 3 instead of 1 cuz the off chance of that, I don't know if I'm making it.
Yep. I think that's totally fair. Your next one, you're gonna have to think about this for a little bit. What would you do if Hela was coming after you?
Hella wouldn't be able to sense me or anything, so hers would genuinely be throwing swords. She also can't really
She's got some
fly.
big swords.
Yeah, she can't fly though.
True.
So I guess she could throw big ass swords through the building, so a roof probably still isn't safe. Um Dude, I wonder if I could rig some sort of like a scuba setup and figure out a way to have weights hold me down in the bottom of a river and have some sort of tube to breathe through potentially. So if I have a really long tube, I can here okay, here's the plan. This is kind of interesting. So I find a bridge. I don't want to go under
Okay.
that bridge though, because she could easily destroy that bridge if she assumes I'm under it, whatever. But I'm going to hide, let's say, 20 feet away from the bridge in the bottom of the river. I'd definitely be able to find some sort of rope, tie it to something heavy to go around myself to just hold me to the bottom of the river. And then, one, I can just pee whenever, which is great. And then,
I was gonna say you've got 12 hours to fill of
yes,
time while you're under the river.
I could find a garden hose from somebody's wherever,
Oh, 100%.
and I can line it up to go mostly under the water, but then come out under the bridge. So where it comes out of the water is still hidden. So she wouldn't have the sign of that, because I could totally find, anything to jam in the ground over it to hold it in place. And then it's just a matter of sealing it to bring it down with my mouth, or just holding it with my mouth and bringing it down myself. But I think I could give myself that kind of long breathing tube, hide it under the bridge, and then it's just she'd have to get really lucky to get me.
You would definitely have to get really lucky, but 12 hours is a long time to
But
be
is she
underwater.
going after the river? Well, but underwater, that's fine. That's totally as long as
Yeah.
I can
I mean,
breathe.
honestly, if one of these people is hunting you down, you're not really worried about pooping or peeing or eating in 12 hours.
Exactly.
So it's just a matter of survival. And
That being
I
said,
don't think.
I might put her at 1. I think she has to
Okay.
get really, really lucky. I think that's a pretty foolproof plan.
I agree. She would definitely have to get lucky to get you. Um, and then your last one, I was hoping anything but 5 would be open.
Yep.
What would you do if the void was coming for you?
Yeah. Hide in one of the corners and hope that he doesn't come to it.
That
That's
is, I figured that honestly, just getting as far away from his spawn point and just praying. But we saw in Thunderbolts, he literally turned the entire city of New York into
and he wasn't
shadow.
even
So,
trying to move fast, so it wouldn't work.
no.
So I'm glad I got him
Yeah.
at 5, and I figured something like that might be coming. So
I'm impressed. I honestly think your list is perfect.
I think so too. I actually think I did really well for not knowing any of this.
So to review, the scenario is you're stuck within the boundaries of a completely abandoned Manhattan. An MCU villain is hunting you down. You have 2 hours of prep time before they get released, and they have 12 hours to find and kill you before they get snapped. Blind rank which villain you would want hunting you. Number 1, you have Hela And your strategy is to jerry rig some sort of underwater breathing mechanism to wait it out at the bottom of the river. Number two is Red Hulk, where you plan to find some sort of secluded area tree, hide out in the tree, maybe a tunnel, but you've got 2 hours to figure that out. But a tree. Number three, Norman Osborn. This is probably my favorite. You're going to drain a bunch of cars in a garage of gas so they don't explode, and you're going to find cushions or blankets to cover you from glass if there's some sort of glass that is broken or exploded, and you're going to hide out in one of the cars in a garage. I think that's pretty good. Number four is Ultron with no X-ray. Your
And
strategy was
five
to find
drones.
some and five drones, and your strategy was to find some sort of boat to within 2 hours flip and look like it was abandoned or just a shipwreck kind of
Pulled on the
thing.
shore, and they're like turned it over because it got filled with water. They need to drain it or something. Yeah,
Right, something like that,
some canoe.
and to hide out under that for the 12 hours. And then your fifth one is definitely the hardest, the void, and your strategy is run and pray,
Yep.
which fair enough. I think you gave a perfect line ranking given the scenario.
Yeah, I like it. I think I did well.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, what are we doing next?
Segment three, bitter legit. We're bringing it back. We're doing
It
three
was
each.
received well because you made the outrageous, unbelievable, incorrect, idiotic, stupid take saying that Chopper was the best droid in Star Wars.
And it was well received.
It was unfortunately well received, and I was completely totally wrong, but it was well received, so we're bringing the segment back. We're doing Bit or Legit again. We've got three each, and I've been talking for a while, so how about you get us going?
Sure. Okay. My first one is that Thor, the first movie, is better than Captain America, the first Avenger.
Oh, jeez. Hmm. I know you don't hate the Thor series, but I know you like the Cap series. I'm I think you're probably higher on Thor than most, but I'm still gonna say that that's a bit.
It is a bit. That is correct. Yeah. Thoron's
Okay.
kind of mid,
Is it
but
is it close? Okay, yeah.
not too close.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're one for one. My first for Bit or Legit. Cars 2 is the best Cars movie and easily a top 5 Pixar movie.
That has to be legit because I think it's true, and I think you are smart enough to believe it.
It is a legit take.
Yep.
It's absolutely a legit take.
100%.
I learned just recently that that movie is considered a bad movie by the public, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I think it's completely fun throughout the entire movie. Uh, there's parts of it that are stupid. Yes, the premise of the series is cars talking.
Yeah.
What do you mean Cars 2 is stupid? The premise of the series is stupid. So I genuinely don't understand the hate that Cars 2 gets. I think it's perfectly fun throughout the whole movie. I think it's I think it's 100% the best Cars movie because Cars 3, I think, is more boring. Cars 1 is more boring. And for me, it is easily within my top 5 Pixar movies of all time. It's probably number 3, maybe
Okay.
4, but definitely top 5.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're 2 for 2.
All right. I gotta. Why is it so hard to do a straight face to start, bro? Okay.
I know.
If I don't look at you, it's fine. Cheerios are a top 2 cereal.
Oh, jeez. They're so versatile. That's like the Swiss Army knife of cereal right there. I'm trying to think of your favorite cereals. I think that's a bit.
It is legit. I think
You have Cheerios in your top
Cheerios
2?
might be a top 1 cereal.
What?
The only other one that gives it competition are Rice Krispies.
I thought you were gonna have Reese's,
Reese's Puffs or something. No,
Reese's
dude.
Puffs, Reese's Puffs.
Eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Uh, nah, dude. Cheerios might be a top one cereal. Cheerios are fire.
The only thing that the only thing that contests it is Rice Krispie treats.
Probably. Or not treats,
Or Rice
just
Krispies.
Rice Krispies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the cereal. Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, dude. I love me some Cheerios. I had a bowl this morning. I love Cheerios.
I think Frosted Flakes are better. I think Reese's Puffs, Frosted Flakes. I would have Rice Krispies over. I would have Honey Bunches of Oats.
Honey Bunches of
over
Oats with
Cheerios.
strawberries would probably be my number 3. Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries.
Honey Bunches
is
of
really
Oats is
good.
fire.
Honey O's. Oh my gosh, O's are so good.
Cinnamon Life. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, but Cheerios, dude. I love Cheerios.
Wow.
Yeah. This is a
I
legit
did not
take.
know that about you. That's crazy.
There you go.
All right. Well, hey, there we go. Okay. My number 2, bit or legit. Bit or legit. I have not seen the Spider-Verse movies.
Like Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
Into and Across the Spider-Verse.
Well, that's
I have never seen either of those movies.
Obviously a bit. We run a nerd podcast.
It's legit.
What? How have you not seen those? This is why Mr.
I've
Peabody
never-
and Sherman is your best animated movie, is because you haven't seen. It all makes sense now. Okay, I understand.
I,
Oh
I,
my God.
and maybe that is why Peabody and Sherman is my number 1 animated movie of all time. I've never seen them. I've seen like clips of Into the Spider-Verse. I've seen like The Leap of Faith. I've seen him interacting with his like uncle or whatever as like the villain. But I haven't even seen a single second of Across the Spider-Verse.
That's insane.
Like I've never seen those movies.
Yeah, though that you need to if we're gonna run a nerd
And
podcast.
I run a nerd podcast.
Yikes!
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a legit.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on to mine. Also Spider-Man themed. Interesting. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies are overall the best Spider-Man movies.
What an atrocious take. I don't know if you have it. I'm going to say that's a bit.
It is legit. I think it is absolutely true. Spider-Man 2 still remains one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Wow. Are you with the public on that? Does the public agree with the Tobey trilogy being the best Spider-Man? Because I know
feel
it's like divided,
it's
but
so,
is there a majority?
It feels like it's so evenly. I think the older generation would agree. Our younger generation, it's hard to say. When Brand New Day comes out, that probably is when my opinion will change. But I think it is currently better than the other sets. It's hard. I feel like it's pretty evenly split across the 3, but that is my take. They're
Dude, I did not know that about you.
Yeah, I mean the third
That's
one's not
crazy.
as good, but it's still pretty entertaining. So
Yeah. Well, third one gets a lot of hate, but it's got Black Suit, so
exactly.
yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, we do not have a high success rate right now.
Not at all.
This is my third and final one. I actually have a similar one to you. Bit or legit. Tom Holland is definitely not the best Spider-Man. And after Spider-Man Brand New Day, should not have a solo project ever again.
I mean, just in light of how hype we are for Brand New Day and how good that movie will be, that's a bit.
It's absolutely a bit.
It's
I think Tom
absolutely-
Holland is the best Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah.
And I think Andrew is second. I actually have Toby at third.
Have you seen his movies?
Now, I've seen Spider-Man 1 and 2. I have not seen Spider-Man 3.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know you'd seen 1 and 2.
Yeah, but I have him at 3. Mainly because I know Spider-Man as a high schooler in the city, and that's just not at all what Toby is. He does not look like a high schooler
He doesn't.
um,
That's true.
at all. Um, Garfield, I think, is the most charming
Yeah.
Spider-Man, which I think fits with Spider-Man's character. But overall, I think Tom Holland is is the best well-rounded Spider-Man in my opinion. And I would absolutely be fine if post Brand New Day we have another solo Spider-Man project, maybe even two,
Yeah.
because assuming Brand New Day doesn't have a symbiote story, a Tom Holland symbiote story absolutely has to happen.
Agreed.
And you could throw in some sort of Spider-Man has so many villains. That's the great
They
thing
could
about
just keep
Spider-Man.
going.
Like when you have, it's the same thing with Batman. When you have a good Batman and when you have a good Spider-Man, use their villains.
Yep.
The problem with TASM 2 and Spider-Man 3 is you tried to put 14 of those villains in the same movie.
Yep.
That's not how it should be done. How Tom Holland's Spider-Man series is
So far
going is how it should be done so far.
I mean, they put a lot in No Way
Obviously,
Home, but that was.
I was gonna say No Way Home is an exception because there were 3 Spider-Mans, so
But
evened out.
hesitancy then for Brand New Day because it seems like we're gonna have 3 or 4 antagonists, so we'll see.
Maybe even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot to worry about with Brand New Day, but given where everything the Spider-Verse is right now, I think Tom Holland is far and away the best Spider-Man, and I think he should absolutely be cleared for more Spider-Man projects after Brand New Day, assuming Brand New Day isn't a complete and total disaster, train wreck, and they completely ruin his Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Bitter Legit. Let us know what you guys think. In closing, usually we do some not a nerd shout outs. I usually shout out some of like the jerseys. Micah shouts out some music stuff or whatever, sometimes also some basketball stuff. Today the shout outs are kind of fun. We have been posting actively for a little less than a month now.
Yeah.
Our accounts have been live for like 2 months, but we've only been posting for a little less than a month. And we have been getting a lot of love and appreciation and support from you guys watching, specifically on the Instagram. I'm thinking of Harry, Demetrius, Leo, Dillybop Whaley, just to name a few. There's a ton of them that are super active and super supportive in supporting us, and we're just such a young team of 2 that we've got going on here as we're starting this podcast and kind of like content creation thing. And so my shout out is you guys, and it's just super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we've been doing this for like less than a month and the growth we've seen and how many supporters. I mean, just so many. I've seen so many comments of people like, you know, me and my girlfriend watch your trivia every night before we go to. It's become part of our nightly routine, right? Like I get so excited for these every day. Another great trivia, like whatever. Like it's just crazy to see that people really love what we do, and it definitely gives us a lot more motivation to do it and to put more effort into it and to make sure we're not putting out anything poor quality or lazy. Like it's truly been amazing.
Yeah, and which that's exactly what we're doing with this is we are receiving all of the support and feedback as just even more of a reason to keep going and even more of a reason to make it even better.
Yeah.
So our editing team is putting in more time with some of our YouTube videos that we're going through right now. We're doing the villain series bracket right now. Make sure you go check that out. But also right now we're actively posting 3 short form videos a day on Instagram and TikTok. We're posting 3 reels a day.
Yeah.
And those are pretty high effort. Our trivia videos, like right now we're known as the Trivia Guys on Instagram.
Yep.
And our trivia videos, we come up with all of the questions ourselves. Sometimes I have to get inspiration
For the sake of time.
For the sake of time, but as of this point, Micah has literally himself come up with every single question he's ever asked, and we're like 500 questions into our trivia career. It's unbelievable, the work he's been doing specifically. So also shout out you for all the awesome work you've been doing.
Appreciate you.
You know, obviously none of this happens as a solo gig. This is only possible because of you. So I appreciate you and all the work you're doing.
I
But
mean, we
yeah,
gotta
this
shout out your fire editing too. I mean, the bees definitely would not happen without that. I mean, I know that's where a
yeah,
lot of the time and effort goes.
it is definitely a two-person team through and through, and this is not something either of us could do by ourselves. And I don't even know if we would still be doing if it wasn't for the support that we've been getting from the viewers. So
Yeah.
shout out you guys, Harry, Demetrius, Leo, Billy Bob Whaley, just to name a few. There's tons of guys and gals who've been supporting us consistently.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just super grateful for the opportunity. We're gonna keep going. We're just having fun with it right now. We're recording a bunch, and here in the next couple of days, and we're gonna be editing out. We are posting 3 videos a day, every single day on TikTok and Instagram. 2 YouTube videos a week, every single week until you know until forever.
Yeah.
So
Until we need to post more than
I
that.
don't know
I mean,
until we need to post more than that. Like we're super receptive to you guys. We try and answer all of our DMs. We try to reply to all the
all
comments.
the
We try to
respectful
listen to the
comments.
advice, all the respectful comments. We try to listen to the advice. When people ask for more segments, someone on our last YouTube video asked for an illumination segment. So we are
That's what we're doing
recording
next.
and uploading later this week our next villains bracket, and we're including illuminations for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been awesome, the support, and just hearing from you guys, starting to feel like we actually have loyal supporters, and like we want to build relationships with you guys. Like community building is really important to both of us, and that doesn't happen without us pouring back into you guys the same way that you pour feedback and positivity into us. So that's really our goal, and we're super grateful, and it's been a really awesome journey, and I'm excited to keep going. And uh, yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah, man. Me too. I think it's definitely going places, and I'm just glad we have the support and people are enjoying what we're doing because we enjoy what we're doing, and it's just a
Yeah,
great way for us to spend more time talking with the great distance between us, and be
right.
able to do it as something that can also, bring joy to other people.
Yeah, yeah. So like we said, coming out with stuff all the time. We're super consistent right now. Make sure you check out our socials. Everything is just at Duality of Nerds. Um, and yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. This has been episode 5 of Duality of Nerds.